How many of you have ever made a bad decision while being in an emotional state? For example, if you're angry, sad, frustrated, any type of emotional state. Another example would be being overly excited about some deal that you've gotten and making an impulsive purchase. This is what hackers prey on and what we've talked about emotion in the last several videos. Today, we're going to have a nice, quick video summarizing the theory behind why this is such an effective attack for hackers. The concept is called amygdala hijacking. The amygdala is the part of the brain responsible for processing emotion, and the thought process behind the theory is that when we are faced with an emotional trigger, something that makes us angry, sad, frustrated, excited, or any emotion, that the amygdala will go into autopilot and hijack processing power from other parts of the brain, namely the critical thinking centers of the brain. So all the things that we talked about in the last several videos, about analyzing URLs, about looking to make sure that the S was in the HTTPS, and looking to make sure that we're going to a valid link, those are all things that take critical thinking skills. And they're important to understand, but if we're not thinking critically, we're not going to be able to do that analysis. So hackers try to get you to the point where you're not thinking critically. And amygdala hijacking is the theory that explains why. When we're being emotional, we're not thinking critically, and that's when we make mistakes. In this case, it could cause a breach on your own computer or your organization's entire network. And breaches can be costly and can ultimately lead to some businesses even shutting down or costing enormous amounts of money to address, and ultimately everyone's job security. When we get emails, phone calls, any of the avenues hackers use, what we need to do is focus on what causes emotion, and we need to be almost Zen-like to start understanding our own emotions. When we're feeling angry, what are the signs? When we're feeling angry, when we're feeling upset, when we're feeling urgency or panic, when we're feeling that burst of excitement, when we think we've got a free Amazon gift card or a free iPhone or free Green Bay Packers tickets, we have to think about emotion in those terms. It's important to remember that on any given day, on our way to work, we may have dozens or more things going on in our lives, already creating emotion. It could be an argument with your spouse, your kids, friends, boyfriends, girlfriends. It could be that someone cut you off on the road on the way to work. It could be that you cut someone off and they yelled at you. Maybe you slept in and were running late today. All of these things are background emotions, and while the email that says that your account has been locked out might not seem like it could shut down your ability to think critically, with everything that is happening in everyone's lives, it's enough to shut down critical thinking. Even on a good day where everything is going great, the slightest emotion, again through amygdala hijacking, causes us to no longer think critically. Emotion, 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 when it comes to hacking, is our biggest enemy. And always remember, if it's generating some form of emotion, that we immediately consider that email or phone call or on-site attack to be suspicious.